The feel on the streets, we citizens know a new rate is coming. Everything is pointing to this. Frank, I agree with you. I can feel the rumbling of the earthquake that will bring you your monetary reform, purchasing power. Things are getting very exciting. Changes are coming inevitably. What awaits Iraq after January 20th? Quote, Iraq will be part of the new Middle East. This is what a number of observers expect about the next stage after Donald Trump assumes the US presidency on Monday, January 20th. Trump's strategy will depend on severing the relationship between Iraq and Iran once and for all. That is, Trump will not rely on the gray area in which Iran's allies maneuvered in the past. Therefore, the current and future Iraqi government will have to reveal the truth about its relations with the United States of America, and Trump will not accept a government that is an enemy of the United States of America. If al-Sudani's government does not abide by Trump's conditions, there may be some alignment between Washington and Tel Aviv to stop this Iranian influence inside Iraq. On the bond side, I had 2 contacts check in and they are expecting funds over the next 4 days, so per their update today, between now and the 10th. We are praying they actually get payments this week, because you and I are right behind them, or at the same time. When they start getting their money, our notifications should go out. The next step is to do global transactions against other currencies in dinar and other foreign currencies. They will become similar to foreign currency in international terms. I don't believe it's going to be at 1,320 for the dollar. It will not work as a RIA. From today, banks are closed and will not open in Iraq until next week. Monday is a national holiday, Army Day. It definitely looks like a timed mechanism in many ways. There's a lot of rumors, talking about how the rate might change on January 6th. Disregard that. I can promise you the rate is not changing on January 6th. I'm going to give you a date in this and it's opinion based, so this may or may not happen. If the rate is going to change, because we don't know if the rate is going to change in the month of January, it will be sometime in the second half of January after the 15th. That is a promise. It has to be after the 15th, the rate cannot change before the 15th. And, it can only change on what is their Sunday, so it has to be on one of their Sundays after the 15th. Again, we don't know if the rate is changing in January at all. We do know January is a critical month. Economist threatens painful US sanctions on Iraq to tighten screws on Iran. Vietnam is entering a phase of strong and steady growth. Experts believe Vietnam's economy will grow a lot in 2025, somewhere between 6.5% to 8%. Their exciting predictions are backed by several things, including a recovering real estate market, people spending more money, and the government putting a lot of money into infrastructure. Remember that picture Alak was holding up with the big board of 1941 dinar note? That is an old picture from 2017 article. If you go back and read it, it told the Iraqi citizens the CBI was starting a mechanism to add value, purchasing power, to their currency. Now, they showed that same picture from the archives to tell Iraqi citizens they are done. What they started in 2017 they have finished in 24. They are done, and we are now going to introduce the lower notes and a new exchange rate. That's why you, Iraqi citizens, are being given exchange 30 note instructions today. The Iraqi dollar and the first day passed peacefully. The central bank is innocent and devoted to the dinar. Quote, the platform's function has changed from being a seller of dollars to Iraqi companies, to an intermediary between Iraqi banks and foreign correspondent banks, JP Morgan and Citibank, which will be responsible for auditing and approving the transfers. Instead of the Central Bank of Iraq, the currency selling window will remain, but its mission will not be to sell dollars but to convert dinars into dollars. And there was no problem in the market today, Sunday, although the dollar rose very slightly. Auctions in Iraq have been occurring. I was told by a contact over there that this is the final part of their de-dollarization. Article: The Iraqi dollar and the first day passed peacefully. The central bank is innocent and free for the dinar. According to Iraqi press, today is the first day without the auctions. I am feeling good about auctions ending, which should mean a new rate. I am told Iraq was reducing their reserves to de-dollarize the market. This in anticipation of a rate change. Banks are closed. Sudani said he was going to make the dinar stronger than the dollar. I think it's going to still hold true. I think that's the expectations of the world. We're going to see that happen. Changes are coming inevitably, and Iraq will be part of the new Middle East. This is what a number of observers expect about the next stage after Donald Trump assumes the US presidency on Monday, January 20th. Based on the analysis of the head of the Political Thinking Center, Ihsan al-Shamari, Trump's strategy towards Iraq differs from his first term, in which he used the strategy of maximum pressure and direct intervention on the Iraqi ground, but currently it is not possible to talk again about the possibility of adopting this strategy. Speaking to Shafaq news agency, he indicated that the current approach will depend on several levels. The first will target Iran's allies and undermine them politically inside Iraq. The second level will be dismantling the factions with Iraqi conviction or through an imposition process that may be carried out by including more of these factions and their leaders on the terrorism lists. The third level will be restricting their financial assets and monitoring their economic fronts. He added, Trump's strategy will depend on severing the relationship between Iraq and Iran once and for all. That is, Trump will not rely on the gray area in which Iran's allies maneuvered in the past. Therefore, the current and future Iraqi government will have to reveal the truth about its relations with the United States of America, and Trump will not accept a government that is an enemy of the United States of America. He stresses that Trump considers the factions to be a threat to American interests, and he still remembers the bad relationship with them when he was President of the United States, including the attack on the embassy and the bombing operations, so Trump will present a more solid strategy than Biden's strategy, which relied on flexibility. Al-Shamari continues, if al-Sudani's government does not abide by Trump's conditions, there may be some alignment between Washington and Tel Aviv to stop this Iranian influence inside Iraq, and it is likely that Iraq will be part of the new Middle East regardless of Iraqi internal speeches or positions. Changes are coming. For his part, academic and researcher in Iranian and regional affairs, Dr. Jalal Jaraghi, says, changes in the region are inevitably coming during Trump's presidential term, and these changes will be in the interest of the Zionist entity, which will have a wide scope to implement its policies and plans in the region at the expense